Good morning, students. Welcome back to Atmiya Green School. I'm Afrin Sayed, your social science teacher. Students, in last class, we have learned about chapter number 2, from hunting, gathering to growing food. Sorry, I am a bit late in uploading the second video due to some family problems and due to my personal reasons. I was not able to upload any videos. And today I'm going to start with a new way of life. A new way of life. If you plant a seed, you will notice that it takes some time to grow. This may be for several days, weeks, months, and in some cases, years. When people began growing plants, it meant that they had to stay in the same place for a long time, looking after plants, watering, weeding, driving away animals and birds till the grain ripened or ripened. And then the grain had to be used carefully, as grain had to be stored for both food and seed. People had to think ways of storing it. In many areas, they began making large clay pots or wove baskets or dug pits into the ground. Do you think hunter gatherers would have made and used pots? Give reason for your answer. Okay, students, what it is said here is, as we know that food grains are the source of food we eat, we consume food, and this is from where the human being has started civilizing. Human beings have started with agriculture, and when we grow a seed, it need to be nurtured, it need to be taken care of, it need to be watered, it need to be and taken care until and unless it gets ripe. Okay, so this is a long process. Sometimes it takes a month, it takes a year to ripen, but for that process a human being, a person, has to stay at the same place, has to take care of their food grain, and as that food grain is not to be consumed spontaneously, the entire food grain is not going to be consumed at once. It need to be stored, and those seeds from which we are going to grow the plants also need to be stored. So for that, people make clay pots and wove baskets and dug pits into the ground so that they can store it inside it and use it for the future consumption. Then storing animals. Animals multiply naturally. Animals give birth to the young ones. Animals give birth to young ones. Besides, if they are looked after carefully, they provide milk, which is an important source of food, meat, whenever required. In other words, animals that are reared can be used as store of food. So, look, animals can be stored. How they can be stored? They can be taken care of. They can be nurtured, where they can be given a proper shade to live, a proper shelter to live. They can be given proper food and all necessary food grains which is required for them, for the nourishment, for their betterment. All such requirements can be given to the animals, should be provided to the animals and taken care of them. If we are taking care of them, if those cattle are properly reared, then we can get milk from them, we can get meat from them, and even the skin of the animal, or the fur of the animal, or the horns of animals, teeth of animals can be used for the right purpose. So animals can be stored by taking care of them. Apart from food, what are the other things that could have been obtained from animals? I have already discussed with you students that we can use their skin as a leather, we can use their hairs, we can use their teeth, we can use their horns, and all such things can be used for the varied purposes. The best example is we all know that we get wool, the hairs of the sheep gives you the warm clothes, sweaters and all such warm clothes are being woven, the shawls are being woven from wools. Finding out about the first farmers and herders. You will notice a number of blue squares, each marks a site from where archaeologists have found evidence of early farmers and herders. They are found all over the subcontinent. Like all over the subcontinent, we can find some farmers and herders all over the world. Some of the most important ones are in the northwest, in present day Kashmir, and in east and south India. Okay, so most important ones are in northwest and in present day Kashmir and in east and south of India. To find whether the sites were settlement of farmers and herders, scientists study evidence of plants and animal bones. To know about their presence, to know about their life, to know about their well-being, to know that whether they used to exist or not, how they used to live. The archaeologist, the scientist studies the plants or animal bones which are found on the soil. One of the most exciting finds includes remains of burnt grain. This may have been burnt accidentally or on the purpose. Scientists can identify these grains, and so we know that a number of crops were grown in different parts of subcontinent. They can also identify the bones of different animals. So when scientists research on certain parts of the earth, they find बर्न ग्रेन्स मीन्स जो जला दी जाती है, हो सकता है कि वो नेचुरली जल गई हो या तो फिर जानबूझकर उसे जलाया गया हो. देन दे हैव एनिमल बोन्स, एनिमल की बोन्स देखने मिलती है. ठीक है. नाउ हियर यू कैन सी ओवर हियर स्टूडेंट्स इन दिस मैप यू कैन सी द ब्लू कलर मैप्स. आई विल मार्क इट फॉर यू. दिस blue squares. These blue squares. These blue squares you can see, these are the places where the remains of the herders and farmers have been found. Herders and farmers have been found, and it has been believed that these were the places where basically farming and hunting used to exist. Look carefully at the map. Okay. So about this there is a mention over here. I'll read it again for you. Here it is mentioned over here. You will notice a number of blue squares which I have shown by underlining with a red color mark. Each marks site where archaeologists have found evidence of early farmers and herders. So these were the places where farmers and herders means one who take care of the cattle. Herders means one who take care of cattle. So those farmers and herders, even hunters were found over there. These are found all over the subcontinent. Some of the most important ones are in northwest and in present day Kashmir and in east south of India. Now towards a settled life, archaeologists have found traces of huts or houses at some sites. So at archaeologists, at few places they have found huts and houses. For instance, instance means example. For instance, in Burzahum, that is in present day Kashmir. Burzahum, where is Burzahum? Burzahum is in Kashmir. I repeat, students, where is Burzahum? Burzahum is in Kashmir. People built pit houses which were dug into the ground with the steps leading into them. This may have provided shelter in cold weather, and archaeologists have also found cooking huts both inside and outside the huts, which suggests which suggests that depending on the weather, people could cook food either indoors or outdoors. So what does it said here? That archaeologists have found the remains of the huts, and in those huts they have found that people used to cook on the mud stoves made up of mud. So, and even they have the houses dug into the ground with the steps leading into them. So they were burrow, it is a kind of burrow kind of houses where they used to live during the winters. And they even have herds inside and outside of their herds. Okay, I'll show you how herds look exactly like. If you can see in the picture, these are kind of herds which were used or which were found out during old period in houses. People used to cook like this. You can see over here that huts are being built, and likewise vessels used to be hanged over and food used to be cooked. So this was a kind of way people used to follow during their old times. Okay, now stone tools have been found from many sites as well. Many of these are different from the earlier Paleolithic tools, and that is why they are called Neolithic. Okay, so many stone tools were found out during that period of time. The tools which were made up of stones were found out, and many of these are different from early Paleolithic tools. They were not like a Paleolithic tools, they were a bit different, and therefore they were called as Neolithic. Therefore they were known as Neolithic. This includes tools that were polished to give fine cutting edge, so they were very finely polished, and mortars and pestles used for grinding grains and other plant produce. Mortars and pestles are used for grinding grain even today. Mortars and pestles, I'll show how it looks. So various instruments or various kind of various kind of things were used, which were very much polished, and as well as they have a very sharp edges. So there were even mortars and pestles used for grinding the grains. Mortars and pestles, if you have ever seen, even now mortars and pestles are being used even now, but during ancient times mortars and pestles were basically and specifically used for grinding the grains. I'll show you how it looks like. You can see on your right side of the screen there is a picture of mortar. This is how it used to exactly look during the old times. During the old times, the mortars and pestles used to look like this. Recently we use this kind of mortars and pestles, which are even now used for grinding grains, or for mashing things, specifically for अदरक लहसुन बनाने के लिए जो if you have seen your mother pitting ginger and garlic paste, making ginger and garlic paste. So it is basically used for such things. And mortars and pestles are used for grinding grain even today, several thousand years later. At the same time, tools of the Paleolithic types continued to be made, and you also remember same tools were also made of bones. So there were many Paleolithic kind of things were used to make type of tools were used to make they were either made up of bones, or either made up of various stones. Even bones were used for it. Now many kind of earthen pots have also been found. These were sometimes decorated, used for storing things. So earthen pots basically जो मटका होता है, मट्टी का जो मटका होता है उसे हम बोलते हैं earthen pots. If you want to see, I'll show it this too. That how is it? If you can see on the screen that there are the pictures of the earthen pots, you can see those earthen pots used to be decorated, and they used to have a different size and shapes. Like over here you can see there are some earthen pots which are cylindrical in shape, some of them are in a round shape. You can see different shapes of earthen pots. I'll show this one too. Just see at your right side of the screen. Wait, I'll show. Yes, all this kind of earthen pots were different size, shapes, and they were decorated with different colors. They were decorated with different designs, and they were used for storing food grains. You can see over here. So all these are being used for storing the food grains. And even now if you can see, जो मट्टी का जो मटका होता है जिसके अंदर हम गर्मियों में पानी भरते हैं, there is a earthen pot too. Earthen pot is basically a pot or a vessel made up of clay. So this is how they make it. I'll show how people used to make how earthen pot is being made. I'll show the process. Look students, this is how typically people used to make earthen pots. This is a clay, this is a soil, basically soil, गीली मट्टी जो होती है उससे बनाया जाता है. Moving continuously, and with his hand he is giving a shape. He is molding it into a better shape.
nama orang ini macam ni ala tadi ala dari dari yang tadi
Look how he is giving me shape.
सही से ऑटोमेटिक వచ్చేది మీకేని చిన్న పిల్లలు మట్టి బొమ్మలు అదే మట్టి వంట సామాన్లు అయ్యి అమ్మగారికి ఎవరు చేయట్లేదు ఎక్కడ దొరకదు
One more example. They even make such pots which are in which we use in which we are growing plants. The pots in which we grow plants are also made in such a way. Just look at what the person is holding, how he is giving a shape, how he is molding clay. Now, people begin using pots for cooking food, especially grains like rice, wheat, lentils means various kind of dals that now became an important part of the diet. So people have started making and cooking food in those vessels. Besides, they begin with the weaving cloth using different kinds of materials. For example, cotton that could now be grown. Okay, now cottons now. People have also started with the weaving clothes, and those cotton is used or it is grown in fields. Okay, did things change everywhere all at once? Not quite. In many areas, man and women still continue to hunt and gather food. So now also there are people who are hunting and who are gathering the food. As for people adopted farming, whereas at some places people have adopted the farming skills. Some have and hoarding slowly. Over several thousand years, besides in some cases, people try to combine these activities during different things and different seasons. Many times, people combine their activities. There are many people who even do farming, and along with the farming, they even take care of the cattle. A closer look living and dying in Mehergra. This site is located in fertile plain near the Bolan Pass. Where is Mehergra located? Near the Bolan Pass, which is one of the most important route in Iran. It is one of the most important route of Iran. Mehergra was probably one of the places where people learned to grow barley and wheat. So it is a place where people have learned learned how to grow barley and wheat. So this was a place where people have started learning, and people have learned that how to grow barley and wheat. So where people have started learning growing barley and wheat. So it was Mehergarh. It was Mehergarh, and reared sheep and goats for the first time in the area. It is one of the earliest villages that we know about. At this site, many animal bones are found. Archaeologists have found many bones over there, bones of wild animals such as deer and pig, and also bone of sheep and goats were found here. Other finds at Mehergarh include remains of square or rectangular houses. So, along with the bones of insects and animals and all such things, all with goats and sheep, they have even found the rectangular houses. And each house had 4 or more compartments, some of which may have been used for the storage. So each house have 4 or more compartments, that is 4 or more rooms, and among which some of them were used as a storage. When people die, their relative and friends generally pay respect to them. People look after them, perhaps in the belief that there is some form of life after death. So what do people used to do after they die, after the dear ones, after the close one dies, they used to take care of those things because they believe that there is some kind of life exists in those things. Burial is one such arrangement. Burial, that means once a person dies, they are being buried inside the soil. Several burial sites are found at Mehergarh. In one instance, the dead person was buried with the goats, which were probably meant to serve as food in the next one. So there were even some places where people used to bury the died person along with the goat, because they believe that the goat will become the source of food in the next world. So here we come to an end with the chapter 2. I hope you would have understood it well. A mere request is, before you watch of course you have watched the entire video, I want, before you read your textbook, I want you to go through both the videos again. And after then just read the textbook once. After reading the textbook, then go towards the exercise. Okay, so what you have to do is, first of all, after watching this video, watch video number 1 again, then this video, that is video number 2 again. And after watching video 1 and video 2, what you have to do is, after watching both the videos, you have to read the textbook. Once you are complete with reading the textbook, then open your exercise and then learn the exercise. It will be far much easier for you to remember and to analyze. You don't have to by heart it. It will automatically learn as you have understood it well. You need to understood the concepts well, you need to understand the things well, you need to understand the roots well. Once you are aware of the roots, it is very much easier to learn the exercise. Okay, I hope it is very much clear to you all. Thank you so much, students. Please take care of yourself as well as of your family. Have a very good day.